uh, in the U.S. Political class, there is a lot of confusion, even within Trump's own circle. So, on the one side, this is the one area where I think Trump is basically trying to do the right thing. Uh, the U.S. position for 30 years after the end of the Soviet Union was we call the shots, we lead, we put our military bases, we put our missile systems wherever we want. And the Russians kept saying, no, 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 do not move NATO close to our border, do not move your Aegis missile systems close to our border. The U.S. point of view was we do what we want. That is the U.S. arrogance. This is what led to the Ukraine war. No question. Had Ukraine just stayed neutral, had it said no NATO bases on our territory, no war, Ukraine would have been so much better off. Now, Trump seems to understand that because as he came into office, he said, uh, yes, NATO, that was an irritant and so forth. So he got that point. Whether they're clever enough to make peace, I'm beginning to question because instead of stating clearly, we make peace on the basis of Ukrainian neutrality, they instead said, we need a ceasefire. We need a ceasefire. Ceasefires mean nothing if they don't address the fundamental political issues. Ceasefires come and go. Look at what's happening in Gaza, how Israel just blew off the ceasefire in the most brutal, cynical, violent possible way. They don't care. So Trump, I think, made a terrible mistake, but maybe it's because of the internal forces in the U.S. leadership by saying that the first step is a ceasefire. That's not the first step. The first step is to sort out what is the basis for peace. The fundamental basis for peace in Ukraine is neutrality of Ukraine. Then the two superpowers are not at each other's throats. They're not next to each other. That's the key to peace. It's obvious. It's been obvious for 30 years. But I don't know whether Trump's going to get there at this point. I thought he would. I was very confident. But the Europeans, Zelensky, who operates with martial law, are not very sensible. The U.S. government's not very competent. It may be that this war continues even without the U.S. support, in which case Russia will continue to take more and more territory, probably in the end destroy Ukraine entirely, except if the principles of peace are put clearly on the table. Then there really could be peace. So far, that hasn't happened.